Well, welcome everybody. I am so excited to have everybody here this morning. This is a topic that's very dear to my heart. As you all know me, I'm a cancer survivor and I love health and wellness. And I love teaching about it because I feel like we all need to learn about it. And women's health and hormones is such a critical topic. It affects every part of our cells. It affects our emotions. It affects everything. And a lot of us, don't even know how. Who can tell me what ages of people have hormones happening and who should be listening to this? Can somebody just kind of give me, because I've gotten a lot of stuff about that about that question. So can somebody share with me who should be focusing on hormones?
Everyone.
Everybody.
Samantha.
Why, Sam?
Because everybody actually has hormones through every stage of their life. Hormones affect how we feel, how we act, how we process food, if our mind's clear. It kind of helps set the direction of how we act and how our bodies function.
I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me, well, I'm older, so I don't need to worry about that. But let's start a little bit about that because I'm a cancer survivor. This is such, when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, it was very scary. It was very traumatizing. It was one of those moments in life where you can stop and just what I did is I asked God. I said, what is going on? How did this happen to me? I thought I was doing all the right things. And one of the, I'm going to go back so we don't get distracted with that. One of the things that really was shocking to me and eye-opening was going to the doctors and the oncologist for a consultation. And they said to me, well, don't worry about anything and how this happened. It kind of just happens to certain people. And you don't have to think about that. All you have to do is do what we tell you to do. And I felt so powerless. It was awful. I thought to myself, wait a minute. So I have no interaction, no power, no control, no hope for having better health, because if I do what the doctors are telling me to do, then I'm kind of just playing Russian roulette because I don't know how soon this is going to happen to me. How does that all play in my life? It was a really eye-opening moment. And it was a moment in my life when the Lord God, because I believe 100% that God is intertwined in everything in my life, opened up my eyes to natural health and how natural health can be a partner to the style of medicine that we practice today in the world, but it is a primary form of health. It's not to be taken, excuse me, lightly. It is, it empowers people. It truly gives people hope. It gives people the ability to do something and to partner up with whoever they need to partner up and create better habits, a better life, and have more control over the outcome of what's going to happen in the future, right? So that's why I love this workshop, because it has, like Sam said, everything, everyone. I don't care if you were just born or if you're 98, you have hormones running through your body, and men have hormones too. And our men are not here, most of them, but we can educate them. Justin's here because he's awesome and he cares about his mom. So let's take a look on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being no unwanted symptoms and 10 being symptoms out of control. And we want to just take a look at how is our monthly cycle, if we have one. And if we are peri or postmenopausal, how are our symptoms? And you want to take a look at that. And you want to start checking, if you have a pen and paper. I think I saw Ines, she was ready with her pen and her glasses, ready to take notes. A good job. I can see she's a good student. Are there areas of hormone balance that are difficult for you? So this could be that you've been told you have hyper or hypothyroid, adrenal fatigue, if you're having a hard time losing weight, if you are a mood swinger, Trouble sleeping is another issue that we have to deal with. Met so many women who had infertility, poor memory, type 2 diabetes, and other symptoms that you may have. Like a lot of women have hair loss and they don't know what is going on, but they're losing their precious hair. And men and women, we know we love our hair, and so all these things can certainly be a sign that you have some hormone imbalance. Now, these things are common, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, it is not natural to have these symptoms. So I've heard people, even doctors, say, well, you're going through menopause, that's normal. No, it's common, but it is not normal. So we need to stop looking at sickness as something normal, or like when I went to the oncologist, for them to tell me, oh, we just kind of have no control over our health. That's not true. And it's very depressing for us to think that we have no control, no partnership with our health. And I just want to, it's saying that I want to invite, Giselle, are you on here, love?
Yes.
Do you want to share? I just want to, your story is so magnificent to me and I love it because you acted on this very quickly. Do you want to just quickly share what was going on with you, what your doctor said and what you did?
So basically what was happening is the irregular menstruations, and it got to the point where menstruations were really, really heavy and I was kind of getting worried. So when I went to the doctors to kind of find out, she basically said, oh, with your age, you're just going through premenopause and that's normal. Just read up on it. And that was it. She sent me home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, but I go, is there a test I can take? She goes, yeah, you can take a test, but it's not reliable. Some come up that you are going through menopause. Some tests don't. It all depends on where you're at. So then I was just like, went home going like, I literally went to the doctors and they just said, go home and look it up on Google. Google it is what she said. And so then I was like, this isn't right, because a lot of the times with the heavy menstruation comes the mood swings, the fatigue and everything. So I contacted Val and I said, Val, look, this is what I'm going through. And, what do you recommend? And so we went through and she did a recommendation for me, which was the vitalities, the bone nutrients, the Terranzyme, and the PB Assist was what we first started with. But my mistake was I was only doing it in the mornings. I wasn't taking the second doses in the afternoons. It was just the mornings. And that brought me back to being regular for a while. And then I started getting inconsistent again. So then I went back to my menstruation being gone for like 3 months. And that's when I called Val again and said, hey, the supplements that we're doing, it's not working. And then when she realized that I wasn't doing it twice a day, she says, do it twice a day before we start, adding anything else. But we did add the estrogen and what is the other one, Val? Something?
Phytoestrogen?
Yeah, phytoestrogen, that's what it is. Phytoestrogen is what we added into it. So then I started being consistent with mornings and afternoons, and I'm back to being regular. The hot flashes are gone. I'm sleeping a lot better, and I'm not as moody, which is what my husband says.
Thank you so much for that testimony. I think we all need to hear that because I'm not the only one that can testify to the power of you being consistent and active. And so I can't go further into this class without talking about the lifelong vitality. When I was diagnosed with cancer in 2010, I did consult a natural physician. He's not like a natural physician, he's a homeopathic expert. And one of the first things that he put me on was supplements. And I was like, why are you putting me on supplements? Like, I eat well, I was eating organic foods. I thought I was doing all the right stuff. And then he said, you tend to question everything. And I said, I do. I just need to know. And the foundation of all nutrition now, because our foods are coming from so far away, and you know, the nutrients that our soil had back in the days when grandma and grandpa were around are not the same. Our stress levels are so high, and we are, you know, demanding from our bodies things that our grandparents didn't do. Our lifestyle has become, you know, kind of toxic. Like, I literally remember my grandma sitting on her rocking chair and knitting and sewing and doing things that were very relaxing. And I don't see anybody doing that anymore. I see people working all day. I see people stressed about the situation, and we're being bombarded with so much information that, consider that just pulling stuff out of your body. Like Sam said, our hormones regulate everything from our thoughts, our emotions, our digestion, our stress levels. It is all in our hormones. So we can't say that anybody's going to regain hormonal balance if the body's trillions of cells are being starved. So like when Giselle said, you know, I was only doing half, you know, just think of yourself just eating half or a quarter of a meal. You're going to be hungry very, very quickly. So you want to pack your nutrition with these vitamins. So these are Dōterra's #1 product because of the benefits. They're packed with nature's most powerful antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and energy cofactors. So this is going to be your #1 best friend when it comes to your getting your hormones back on track. And another thing that can truly, truly affect the 3 things that I consider damaging, you know, they just destroy the hormonal cells and cellular balance, is deficiencies, stress, and chemical toxicity. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But again, this is going to be your #1 best friend, and that's what Giselle was talking about. And she was only doing half, and I hear a lot of people doing half. I even heard about people doing 1 a day, and they weren't feeling well, and it's because you're not taking what you need. So I highly recommend that you give your body a week or 2 to get used to the full dose, because it's going to take some adjustment time. And don't give up. I see so many people saying, oh my gosh, like I was burping. Okay. It's okay to burp if your hormones are being fed and your body is getting used to the right nutrition and what your body is needing. So please don't get discouraged and quit. If you have some, you know, some discomfort as your body adjusts, just stay with it. So let's talk a little bit about the female reproductive system. It includes the ovaries, fallopian tubes, the uterus, the cervix, the external genitalia, and breasts, and works closely with other systems, especially the endocrine system. Ovaries secrete estrogen and progesterone, which are crucial for fertility, but also play a key role in a woman's emotional and physical health. Nutrition and hydration directly impact the production of these hormones. So, in saying that, you know, this is the same for men. Men also have the testes, so we don't want to think that only women need to hear this. Men need to hear this too, because just the only difference between the men and women is that we have the ovaries and they have the testes. So of course, when we think about hormones, we think, oh, it's just the sex hormones, but it's not. As you can tell here, everything's intertwined. Everything works together. It's kind of like, you know, when you think about your body's health, don't think that anything is isolated. Everything is related, connected, intertwined, and dependent on each other. So if you're still having your cycle, the ovaries are responsible for releasing estrogen and progesterone. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. These hormones are not just responsible for fertility, but they also play a very important part in our emotional and physical health. Like Sam said, that's important to remember. Everything's connected. So let's move. This is what we're going to talk a little bit about today. And we're going to simplify it, because we're going to, if you want to take a picture of that, just so you can have, you know, just one slide to focus on. We're going to talk a little bit about the liver, the pancreas, the adrenals, and one of my favorite subjects is the thyroid, because that's what I've had to deal with for the past 11 years. And knowing how delicate this gland is so, so important. That's why I love to share this. So let's talk about the endocrine system. It is directly involved in growth and development, metabolism, nutrient regulation, and overall homeostasis. And homeostasis just means a balance of the body. It is a system of glands that produce and send hormones to targeted organs and tissues via the circulatory system. And essential oils can be very beneficial since they are circulated in the same way and profoundly benefit the cells they encounter in the process. So I love to look at this little diagram here, because you would not think, okay, you would not think, here's the little hypothalamus. Look at how tiny that is. And here's the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, and the thyroid is right here, and parathyroid glands are right there too. The thymus, the pancreas, the adrenal glands are those little tiny things sitting on top of your kidneys. The ovary in the female, and the testicle in the male, and of course the placenta during pregnancy. So it is magnificent how all of this is communicating. It's such a beautiful thing happening when it's not blocked, right, by stuff. So let's talk a little bit about the liver. Let's be lovers of our liver. So you would just change the I to an O. Be a lover of your liver. Care for it. The liver is healthy when everything is functioning. When you notice everything in your body functioning, it's the liver has a huge role in that. It is underpinning of hormone balance, and we should be drinking plenty of water with lemon or Slim and Sassy essential oil to cleanse the liver, and take a Zendocrine soft gel daily. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about, let me look at my notes. Here we go. It is like the lint trap of your body. It traps all of the toxins, and if you are not cleaning your liver, then the rest of the body just won't work efficiently or properly. So it filters everything you've ever done, every food, every medication, emotions, and hormones, old cells, all the toxins that you're being exposed to. If you don't take the time to support your liver, these things can't be processed out and end up recirculating in your body, through your blood. And so that's why you see a lot of problems. It's because you have a toxicity that's recirculating, and it's not coming out. So let's just take estrogen, for example. The liver is the main detox pathway for estrogen. So if your liver is clogged, then what happens is that estrogen gets backed up, and you get estrogen dominance. I'm sure we've all heard about that estrogen dominance. It's such a big deal. So it causes a lot of the hormone issues that we have, and then you get hot flashes, and that's due to a congested liver. So how do we support the liver? Again, drinking lots of water with essential oils. These are some of the favorites. You can also think of oils like grapefruit. I believe, if you want something light to drink, I would drink the lemon. If you like a little bit more of a punch, you want to grab this Lemon Sassy. And this Lemon Sassy is a blend. Every time you see a name of an oil and it's not a plant name, it is a blend of something that Dōterra synergistically has put together for a specific purpose. This is our metabolic blend, and so it cleanses the body. It helps with your metabolism because it speeds things up, and it helps to cleanse the liver. So it has cinnamon, it has grapefruit, peppermint, it has cinnamon, and it also has ginger. Those are the ingredients that are in this Lemon Sassy blend. Another fantastic thing to do is the Zendocrine soft gels. It helps to support the liver and detoxing it. I use 2 of these every morning before I do anything else, because I want to clean my liver. I've had to recently deal with a lot of toxicity in my body from stuff that I have been in contact with, and including if we have a lot of dental work in our mouth that could be interrupting the normal flow of hormones, that can cause a lot of disruption. So you want to make sure, I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but there are some dentists that have people do a biocompatibility test, so that even the items that are going, the materials that are going in your mouth are being tested to make sure that you are not putting stuff in that's going to cause an interruption in the endocrine system, because it can really trigger a whole bunch of other things. So cleaning your liver every single day is critical. Let's see what else I wanted to add to that one. You can also use the endocrine complex, which is also very cleansing. It has milk thistle, and it is a great herb for liver support and ingredients that help to detox all of the organs. So that's it's not in this picture, but it's a endocrine, the endocrine complex is the other one. So let's move on to our pancreas. The pancreas has two main jobs. It aids in food digestion and produces insulin to stabilize blood sugar. Your pancreas can actually get exhausted and kind of quit on you if you overrun it, if you don't treat it right, if you don't support it. So when the pancreas gives up, then you have an organ that has stopped creating those necessary hormones. So we don't want the pancreas to quit on us, so we want to support it. And what does the pancreas do? It helps with blood, with sugar balance in the blood. So that's when you can have diabetes happen. So the pancreas, you want to support it daily by including this. You can include the metabolic blend, Slim and Sassy soft gels. It also helps with digestion. So just think of your body as a ball of energy, because, you know, just me moving and me speaking and moving the mouse and reading, all that is energy that I'm using. Okay, so I know it sounds like a new age thing, but it's not. We're all composed of just a bunch of energy, and that's how we're able to do everything that we do. When you don't have energy, then you can't really do anything. So in order for the energy to go where it's needed, you want to support every single organ, everything in your body. Like Giselle said earlier, what you're doing is you're bringing support so that the energy is able to flow to areas where it's needed the most, and those organs and those glands are able to function better because they're not tired, they're not overworked. Help is coming in. So you can also add a Slim and Sassy, a Terrazyme, like Giselle was talking about. Those are your main things to do. Always incorporate your vitamins, your probiotics, your enzymes, because the enzymes, what they do is they help the body to digest the food, and it allows the body to focus that energy that it would normally take to digest. It takes a lot of energy to digest. It's going to send it to other areas that need help, so that the digestion energy can be sustained by the Terrazyme digestive enzymes. So you're taking some of that burden off the pancreas. What else did I want to share about this? I think that was it about the pancreas. And now let's talk a little bit about the adrenals, those beautiful little glands that are on top of the kidneys. Those are just gorgeous little glands that we want to take care of. And the ovaries, when you're younger, the ovaries produce estrogen and progesterone. And if you're still having cycles, that's what's happening. But the adrenals take over the hormone production when you enter into menopause. And, you know, like Giselle was talking about her symptoms. So when you're going, you know, from those seasons of your life where you're, you know, having your cycle, you're switching gently over to the time where you don't have your cycle anymore, there needs to be a soft and gentle transition. And that transition sometimes is not happening gently because your body is not being supported. It's a little bit tired and it's crying out for help. Just think of the light switch in your dashboard when your car says, hey, I need a little something, you're going to go in there, you're going to give it the help that it needs, change the filters, change the spark plugs, change. That's the same thing that you're doing when you're supporting your body. And one of the things that I just feel some people thinking, well, oh my gosh, you know, this means I have to spend money on this. I've always looked at my health as an investment. And I'm so grateful that I did that. What I did is, instead of buying, you know, the shoes and the purses and the jewelry and the car, I decided to focus on the most rewarding thing that I could ever invest in, and that was my health. I knew that the medical system and my insurance wasn't going to pay for my natural care. But let me tell you, every single penny that I invested in my health, I'm just so grateful, and I keep learning, and I keep, you know, adding or taking away things when I don't need them anymore. But I'm always investing in making sure that my body has what it needs. So as I was saying, when you're transferring over to menopause, the adrenals take over the hormone production, and that is the smooth transition that should be happening. And you want to support that by putting the magnolia over the adrenals, which is right here. If you touch your back, right, you know, where your hands, as you put your hand back here, that's where your adrenals are going to be. And you want to put magnolia over the adrenals just to relax and help you to calm down and not feel overwhelmed. Or, you know, like when something happens, you hear a noise and you get startled, and you're screaming at the kids, you're screaming at your husband. You don't want to do that. You want to help your body to remain calm, cool, and collected by using oils like the magnolia. Another heavy hitter that I absolutely love, I also use this every morning, okay, is the Mito 2 Max. The Mito 2 Max is fantastic for support for your adrenals. It is an herbal supplement that helps with hormones. It helps with balancing of the adrenals, supporting the adrenals. And I take 2 every day in the morning before I take anything else. And it's wonderful for energy. And another really important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is something I love to talk about, is making sure you're taking the time to relax, to enjoy life, to not be stressed. And if you are stressed, you need to figure out why you're stressed and how can you remove those stressors. You don't want to think of those things as being normal. They're common, but they're not normal. And God has shown me that I don't need to be stressed. I know I don't need to be overworked. I don't need to, do what everybody else is doing. I just need to do my part and let go of the rest. So I just encourage somebody today to, if you're overwhelmed, if you're stressed, if you're finding that you're exhausted, change some stuff in your life and use these as a tool to learn how to get to a place of calmness and relaxation. And I don't have anything against working hard, but I do think that we overdo it in this era. We're just so filled with information. It's a little overwhelming. So let's talk a little bit about the thyroid. The thyroid is oh my goodness. It is a tiny little gland in your throat right here. It's like a little butterfly. But man, oh man, can it knock you down and mess with you. And if you don't love it, you better love it today, because you got to learn about it. You have to take care of it. You have to feed it. And the thyroid's a little princess. If you are not taking care of your thyroid, the little princess gets mad and acts out. It will make your life miserable. So let's talk a little bit about the thyroid. It is important for everything, but let's talk a little bit about the support for the thyroid. The thyroid is where there is hormone conversion. So it produces the T4 hormones that get thrown into the liver, and then the liver converts the T4 into the T3 so that it can go back to the thyroid and be utilized to send out those messengers called hormones. So here we see again the importance of clearing up, cleansing, detoxifying, and caring for the liver. The liver and the thyroid work hand in hand. They need each other to function. And so you want to go ahead and go back to that slide about the liver, and you want to cleanse that every day and take it very, very, very seriously, especially if you have some of the symptoms that I showed you in the very beginning. And that's why Giselle started seeing those changes. It's because she started supporting, and then all of the toxicity probably in the liver started cleansing out. And then she was able to get rid of those terrible side effects of having a toxic liver. So some of the things that mess with your thyroid, again, is starvation of the thyroid, toxicity in the liver can affect the thyroid, fluoride can affect the thyroid dramatically. So I always tell people, do what you can to invest in a reverse osmosis filtered water, because then you're clearing out all the fluoride, all of the chemicals that they put in our waters to, to clean it. You want to get rid of all that, and you want to drink clean water, and you want to add those essential oils to your water. Bromide is another just bully of the thyroid, and chlorine. Again, chlorine's in our water, so we want to filter that out. You want to get rid of any toothpaste that has fluoride. That is critical for you to maintain that thyroid health, because those three items, the fluoride, the bromide, and the chlorine, are bullies for space in the thyroid where the iodine should be feeding the thyroid. So what feeds the thyroid is iodine, and those three items, the chlorine, the bromide, and the fluoride, fight for space in the thyroid, bully it, and then you have a thyroid that's not functioning well and not producing the hormones that you need to run the rest of the body. So the princess wants to be in her little palace all alone without those bullies. So switching over to a toothpaste like On Guard toothpaste is fantastic. It has no fluoride. It's amazing. And using natural mouth rinses is also really important, and creating them with filtered water. You can also use this endocrine complex. It has kelp, which has iodine, and you can make a roller bowl with these four oils right here, because you will be supporting the thyroid by helping it, strengthening it, cleansing it, detoxifying, and regenerating some of those damaged cells. So making sure that you're taking your supplements for nutrition, drinking lots of water, and lowering your stress levels. All right, let's see. We're almost done here. Let's talk a little bit about the queen of oils. It's the rose. You can apply this one over the heart. It helps to boost emotional balance, boost your libido, yay, promote openness and confidence. Who doesn't want that? And you can also apply it over to the lower abdomen to get relief from menstrual discomfort and promote regular ovulation. Now, even if you weren't looking to boost your libido, right? The oils are so wise. I call the oils wise. They have a frequency, they have wisdom, they have intelligence. They will never go into your body and do things that you don't want them to do. So I just want to remove some of that fear that people have about using essential oils. They actually know what to do in your body depending on your physical, mental, and emotional hormonal needs. They go into your system and they actually communicate with your cells. They figure out what is going on and they bring homeostasis. So I want to bring comfort into whoever feels a little bit uncomfortable about using essential oils, like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is going to do, or can I mix it with that? I've mixed oils, and I've never had a negative response to any of the blends that I've created on my own, or just going in there and putting a bunch of different essential oils because my feet were hurting, for example, and I've done nothing but benefit. They know what to do is the message. Claricom is another beautiful oil that I use every morning after my shower and every night. And you want to apply it to the abdomen or the back of your neck, around the breast. This is, and then this is also really great for guys. It's hormone balancing. It regulates heavy periods. It's very helpful for PMS. It's great for cramps, hot flashes and mood swings. Now, one of the things that I want to just say very quickly before I finish and open it up for questions is, if you're doing this for yourself and you have friends, girlfriends, if you have daughters, granddaughters, please share this with them. I feel like when God gives us information, it's not for us to hold on to it and to be afraid to share it. It's meant to be shared. We're meant to help one another by bringing that comfort, that hope that there is another way. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to be on medications that are having side effects that can actually cause a lot of damage. All you need to do is slowly bring your body back into homeostasis, do it confidently. And that's why it's so important to join us every Saturday, just so you can learn more and ask questions and feel more at ease, more comfortable, more hopeful, more empowered about the things that you can do with your health. So let me go into the next slide here. This is something that I do when I feel like my hormones are out of control. This is the Symphony of the Cells. And you can find out a little bit more about, there's actually a free class. If anybody's interested, please let me know and I'll pass on the information. But this is all things hormonal balance. If you see here, Hashimoto's, hyperthyroidism, hypo, endometriosis, Graves', this is all hormone stuff. So this is a little protocol that you can have someone do for you, or you can do it for someone else. So this is something that I've done, and it's really